everyone, welcome to Let's Talk Physical Media episode 16. Austin316 says that
I just whooped your ass.
And there really wasn't much news this week, so if you're new to this show, we do this every single Sunday, alright? We do this every single Sunday. We come on here, we kind of just shoot the shit for like a 45 minutes to an hour, talk about all things physical media. But before we dive into anything this week, if you like 4K Blu-ray reviews, movie reviews, tech and game reviews, we try and do them all here on the channel, and nothing helps out more than by you liking this video and subscribing to the channel. So like we were saying, there's not much news this week, so we thought we'd do something special. We're going to go through the Q&A, do a quick unboxing of this week's newest and greatest 4Ks, and that's Black Christmas in 48 hours and another 48 hours, with reviews coming later in the week. And we're also going to talk about some of Matt's other hobbies besides movies and video games. We thought we'd show you some stuff that he has at his house here, and we'll just do a quick walkthrough of all that. But we're not going to spoil what that is just yet. So right off the bat, Matt, what's going on?
Not too much, you know, it's Friday.
At the time of this filming.
At the time of this filming, we actually tend to film this usually on Saturdays. We are filming a bit early because we are going to see Silent Night, Deadly Night? No, just Silent Night, or Violent Night.
Violent Night, yeah.
We're going to see Violent Night tonight with
David Harbour from Stranger Things.
Yeah, Hopper, right? That's
yeah,
his name,
Hopper, Sheriff Hopper.
Yeah.
Harper.
And I'm very excited about this. You know, there's not too many Christmas horror movies. But you know, they're far and few between, I feel like, and I'm excited. This one looks pretty good, and you know, I haven't been to the theater since
you haven't gone in a while. Oh no,
we went. What did we see recently? Last?
Oh, Smile. I think that's the last thing you saw was Smile with me.
Maybe.
Because that was at the beginning.
I feel like I seen something else after Smile.
No, because you didn't see Black Panther.
No.
I think Smile was the last one.
Maybe it was, but I feel like
we went to Northport and saw something.
Oh, we did, and we were upset.
Yes. What movie was that?
Ah, fuck. We brought the girls too, right?
Yeah, and everyone. Oh, Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Halloween.
That's how forgetful that was.
Yeah. Well, no, I can't forget it. That's the problem.
Well, we were disappointed. That was my last theater going, was to see Halloween.
I hope that this is better for you.
And before that, we saw Jurassic World, or...
Well, we saw Smile, we've seen Dominion. I tend to go to the movies every single week if I can.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, like last week I saw The Fabelmans. Now, I always try and stop because we live really close to a movie theater and they're really cheap, but you know, the projectors are terrible, the seats are terrible, popcorn's pretty good, and you can get all that for under 20 bucks, so it's a steal.
I don't even think you can.
PJ Cinemas?
Oh, PJ Cinemas.
Yeah, no,
you go to PJ?
I go to PJ every once in a while.
Really?
Yeah, just by myself.
Interesting.
Well, it's right next to LA Fitness, and I think, well, I hate working out, so I'm going to the movies.
Yeah, you don't even have a membership there, I don't think.
No, I have one at Planet Fitness, and you know, for the whole year they got a free membership.
I've been to Planet Fitness a lot this week.
Really?
Yeah, we're delivering scissor lifts, so that's what I do for work. I deliver.
So you're like Tony Soprano in that one Family Guy skit where he walks by his gym equipment, it's all dusty, and he's eating a donut. He just looks at it and then keeps walking.
This is more deserted than James Gandolfini's workout room.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been there for work this week, delivering equipment. So.
I used to work out a lot there, and you know, now I just kind of work out at home, you know, just to keep the guns. You gotta look out, they'll get you.
Yeah, he works out like this.
That's why the right arm's bigger than the left.
He's like Quagmire.
Yeah, oh my God, remember that when you found online porn?
Yeah.
Oh, that was hysterical.
That was a good one. Put that clip in here.
I've just been, checking out some of that internet porn.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna go and check my mail over there.
Oh, dude, they are going in. There's going to be some clips. So anyway, guys, we're going to start unboxing this stuff, and we're going to start off first with Black Christmas. Now, you just watched this week for the first...
I just watched the Scream Factory Blu-ray, because I got it in the Shocktober sale, and then days after ordering that, the 4K was announced. But, you know, I figured John was going to get this because he didn't get the Blu-ray. So I just watched it recently because I figured he'd be watching it. And I was like, oh, I want to be able to talk to him about it. And this was also my first time watching it. So, I mean, I don't want to spoil the review. I mean, he's reviewing it. But I guess I'll give you my quick thoughts was, wow, like I really didn't expect that. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did either, you know, because it's an older movie. Was it 76 or 74? Yeah. So I was actually pleasantly surprised with it. And it right away, very aggressive. The phone call, like,
Oh my God, right.
Do you remember what they're saying on the phone call?
Yeah,
Like,
it's fucked up shit.
Yeah, it was very, like.
It's the 70s though. Like,
Yeah,
the 70s were
yeah.
a dark time for movies, and a great time. I
was
love
like,
that.
oh shit, all right. And then, because I like, not that I like that, but, in the movie, I was like, oh, okay, this is.
The stakes are high. And
Right.
Yeah.
But although, the ending, I think I understand what happened, but.
I haven't seen this in a long time.
Okay, so we'll get back to this, but I'm still, I think I know what happened, but, it's not clear cut, the ending.
No, if I remember correctly, it is open to interpretation, but that's also many horror movies and slasher movies.
Well, not really. Everything's straightforward. Michael Myers is the one killing.
Well, no, but Michael Myers also at the very end of the first Halloween disappears. So like,
right? This is a different time. I don't know. I'm just a bit. Pop that thing open. I want to see if there's a reversible cover here.
Yeah, and so one thing that Matt also told me that I didn't know, that Scream Factory actually for the first time put something in front of this movie.
Well, I don't know if it's the first time, and I don't know how old that Blu-ray is. Not
a reversible.
That's a shame, and it's a collector's edition too. They generally always make these.
I'm telling you, something is going on.
Give me this.
Yeah, fix that. I'm telling you, something is going on with Scream Factory lately, because after Rollerball from a couple weeks ago, I just don't know why their 4Ks, sometimes they do on their 4Ks, especially the collector's edition, put a reversible slipcover on them.
So this is a new 2022 4K scan of the original camera negative presented in Dolby Vision. 22 restoration of the original mono track. 2022 5.1 mix restoring the missing sound effects and dialogue.
Okay.
I want to watch this now because there was a couple scenes where in the front of the movie they put out this is a new 2K. I'm talking about the Blu-ray. They said this is a new 2K scan of the camera negative. The source material was pretty rough. We did the best we could. That's not word for word, but basically is what they said was they did the best they could. And the audio, there was some drops here and there, and I'm curious how it sounds now. So I'm gonna pick this up soon, I think.
Yeah, no, because I'm really excited to watch this actually, and because originally I felt bad because Matt really is the horror guy, so I thought, oh man, Matt, he really liked Black Christmas, like I knew he would. I'm like, he should review the 4K, but then I was like, selfishly, I still want to see this, and I want this 4K.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good 4K because if it's a new 4K scan. And the Blu-ray really wasn't terrible. There was some scenes that but I am curious to see that, and I almost want to watch it right now.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think I'm actually going to watch this tomorrow.
I just want to scan through it at least.
So the review for this actually will be out Monday, attached to the digital code giveaway winners. I'm hoping I get to watch this tomorrow, Saturday, day before this video comes out, so that's a whole thing. But anyway, look for this review on Monday. I am really excited to see this again. It's been a very long time, and were you excited to see a younger John Saxton when you watched
That
this?
was the detective, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He always plays a cat.
That's the only person I recognized in the movie.
But
I was like, oh shit, I know that guy. I don't remember where I knew him from though. What is he in?
He's the sheriff, and he's Nancy's father in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep,
yeah, he's the cop also, Yeah.
All right, so pop open your 48 hours. So I never seen either of them, and I figured, hey, they're both coming to 4K, and I opted for the double pack. Now, John argues that it looks better by itself, which is a valid argument, and I don't disagree. However, I'm going to put one slot into my shelf where he would need to do two, but he's not even getting the second one. So I figured, I'll have them both in one slot, and it's not an ugly cover, and you still get a slip cover. So I'm cool with that, and it saves me room.
See, I opted, I'm going to explain exactly why I wanted just the first one, and Matt's going to find this out very quickly when he watches it, and that's another 48 hours is just not as good as the original 48 hours. 48 hours is a classic. Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. Eddie Murphy, I believe, was either 19 or 20 years old when this came out. This is his first movie. So he was actually, he was a cast member on Saturday Night Live. He got hired for this. He was really young. This is him, and he is perfect in this. Nick Nolte's great too, but I don't remember what year another 48 hours came out, but it's definitely way later. I want to say like maybe 89 as a guess.
90.
90, I was close.
82 and 1990.
Yeah, so it was a big gap, and it suffers from what we see with a lot of comedy sequels nowadays, where they're just not as funny, and they don't ever live up to what the original is. 48 Hours is an all-time comedy classic, while another 48 Hours I consider to be in line, not with Dumb and Dumber 2 bad, but more like in that forgettable like Zoolander 2, where it's like, it's okay, but it's not the first one.
All right, so I guess I'll go first.
Yes, and speaking of Matt's, by the way, because Matt, he did show you he has a slipcover.
It's a bit thicker.
Thicker, yes.
Yes. So you pull the slipcover off, same artwork on the inside, obviously. Pop this open. We got a digital code that you guys can enter to win. And then you have your 4K of 48 hours, 4K of another 48 hours, and then the Blu-rays of said movies.
So plain black for 4K, light blue for Blu-ray. And this one you get, and I'm sure, almost spoiled the digital code giveaway. If you got that, let us know. But yeah, same thing on here. There's the 48 hours and 48 hours Blu-ray. Light blue for Blu-ray, black for 4K. And it looks already, just based on what I'm seeing here, based on nothing. Paramount's been doing good work.
Yeah, Paramount's been killing it.
Except for planes, trains, and automobiles.
Which is a bit of a disappointment.
But based on what I'm seeing here, based on box alone, I suspect this might actually be a good 4K.
I think they're going to be good too, but I'm excited to check them out.
Yeah, I think you're really going to like 48 hours, and I really think that you're not going to like another 48 hours. But that's just me. And like I said, this week we didn't really get much news, so we're just going to dive into the Q&A.
No news.
No news this week. Well, there was news, but it was like nothing like notable. I saw that Belly, you can pre-order now, the 25th anniversary of the film Belly, which DMX is in that. I've never seen it.
X gonna give it to you.
Yeah, he will.
R.I.P.
Yeah, that still hurts, man. He was like, what, 50-something?
Shame.
Yeah. No one else will be DMX.
He had the Rough Riders.
Mount Up? Oh no, that's not the Rough Riders. No, someone else said Mount Up. Regulators.
Oh, yeah.
Regulators mounted up.
We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Regulators! Mount up!
DMX had the Rough Riders. How are you gonna stop, drop, and open up shop by yourself? Seth Rogen said that. I forget what movie it was. This is the end.
This is the end, I think. Maybe
so,
it wasn't
yeah.
Pineapple Express. But anyway, we're gonna dive right into the Q&A, and our first question is from our favorite uncle. And for the second week in a row, this seems like a serious question.
Really?
So Uncle V.
Uncle V stepping it up.
Possible question for next week. It sure is, buddy. How frequently have you encountered loose discs and sealed packages? What are your thoughts, reactions, experiences, etc.? Well, if you just saw, my Black Christmas had a loose disc in it, actually, when I popped it open.
So, I deal with I buy a lot of physical media, obviously, but aside from movies, I buy a lot of video games, and it seems to happen often. I don't know if it's just the casing, but luckily, because even the video games, they're on like the Blu-ray type disc, and it's pretty hard to scratch a Blu-ray. Like, you really kind of have to try to scratch a Blu-ray. So when you have a loose disc in there, most of the time, if you bring it up to the register or if you get it from shipping or whatever, you open it up, you look at it, 9 out of 10 times the disc is going to be fine. You really have to look at the case now, because sometimes the little plastic tabs break off in the center of the disc holder, and then the disc will never stay. But I mean, I feel like we get loose discs pretty often, but that just comes back to the postal service and the mail, because the shit gets banged around. And at least I can't really ever say. Actually, I have one exception. Terrifier was.
Oh yeah, you did.
That one has a bit of a glitch, because there's a nice little scratch in that, and that one's irreplaceable.
Yep.
Because it's out of fucking print.
Yeah. Although.
Well, I think Best Buy has the exclusive rights
to the 4K.
To the 4K of that.
It's really weird, because I think Walmart has that really nice steelbook, right?
They do, yeah.
So,
which I canceled because I saw the 4K pop up.
Want that 4K in that steelbook?
Yeah.
That's my ideal version of that. But to answer your question, the only one I can really think of where the disc got damaged, I've had many issues where the disc has been loose or where the casing broke. Like most recently when I bought Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot, my case came just destroyed. You couldn't even open it. It was like split down the whole side. So I had to swap out the case. I didn't return it. I actually had another Blu-ray case I swapped it out with, but like I don't know what happened, how that even got to me like that. It literally was a mangled mess. Yeah. It's literally just as mangled as Matt's body is right now, and that is just disgusting.
You know, back in the day, the DVDs, if you had loose DVDs and PlayStation 2 games, those would get scratched to shit. But it's actually very tough to scratch a Blu-ray.
360 games. Remember,
360 games,
you couldn't even hit the 360 at all while the
You
disc
get the
was...
ring of death, yeah.
Well, not the ring around the disc. I remember that happened in my SmackDown versus Raw 2008. Mm-hmm. Like, if you just bumped into the 360, that you would hear the disc was done.
Yeah, moms would do that to the kids all the time. They're sitting there playing, and she comes in, lifts up the console to go dusting or whatever, ruins the game.
Yeah, not even realizing what that does to the game. Yeah, oh
Yeah.
my God. Remember those old systems that they tried to, like, fix scratches on CDs?
The Disc Doctor.
Never worked for me. Did you ever get it to work?
I had one. Maybe it worked. I remember you would just use alcohol and like a cotton ball or the disc.
I heard toothpaste.
Well-
Was that just a weird rumor?
Well, because it's gritty. So when I worked at Game Crazy inside the Hollywood Video, we had a disc buffing machine, and people would come in there all the time, and it actually worked really good, like resurfacing. So it's almost like waxing a car. So it has like a very, very, very fine grit inside the paste, and then it just kind of sands down the disc, and then you have this other paste that goes on, and then it just kind of resurfaces it, smooths it out, and it's really just sanding down the first layer, because it's like a piece of plastic on top of the, like, whatever it reads is not actually plastic, it's pressed in there. So it's like, if you ever, like as a kid I was destructive, so I would, like, if you break a CD or something and you actually split the plastic, it's like a very paper thin piece of film inside the disc.
Huh.
Yeah, and then you take the plastic gets molded and pressed onto there. So whatever plastic they're using on Blu-ray discs is a lot more durable.
Gotcha. That's awesome. And I can't believe you knew that. You answered a question I never expected to get answered. Well, Uncle V, I hope we answered your question. Oh, I didn't answer your question directly. Only disc I ever had broken that I bought from shipment was Titanic, and I still have that one, and it skips right at the beginning of the second disc. So,
Shit, is that before or after the tits?
No, tits were out on the end of the first.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
Okay. Yeah.
we're good.
Yep. So our second question is from Rico Gomez at Let's Talk Entertainment and Media. Hey, just saw this from Kino coming in 2033 on 4K Ultra HD, brand new 2023 HD Dolby Vision Master from a new 4K scan of 35 original film negative. And that film is Staying Alive.
What's Staying Alive?
Staying Alive is the sequel to Saturday
Oh,
Night
okay.
Fever.
So that's where my mind went first, but I was like, I don't
Do you
know.
remember that movie?
No.
So it's a sequel. You know how the
Travolta in it?
Yes.
He is.
So Staying Alive is the sequel to Saturday Night Fever.
Good time.
But they couldn't get the Bee Gees back because the Bee Gees were insulted. They were making the movie. They didn't ask them right away. But do you know who the director of Staying Alive is?
No idea. Travolta.
No. Sylvester Stallone.
What?
Yes. And you know who he hired to do the music when the Bee Gees bowed out?
No.
His brother, Frank Stallone.
Really?
Swear to God.
How'd that work out? Wow.
Well, you didn't really know it was a sequel till now, and you haven't seen it. So
yeah.
that should tell you how good it worked out.
I guess not great.
No, it's not good. But, I mean, Kino Lorber is doing a 4K upgrade, so I'm guessing that people are fans of it, or just collectors who like Saturday Night Fever want the sequel. But, I mean, I guess you should probably see it because it's, still Travolta. And
I mean, I love Travolta, and I don't hate Saturday Night Live, but
Saturday Night Fever, you mean?
Saturday Night Fever, yeah.
I thought you liked Saturday Night Fever.
I said I don't hate it.
Oh,
It's
don't
not,
hate and like are very different.
It's no Grease.
Ugh. Okay. All right. I guess that's one way to look at it. Our next question is from, by the way, thank you, Rico, because maybe we'll review that. I don't know. I do want Matt to see that because he needs to experience Stallone, the director, but he's not starring. Okay. Although we did recently both become fans of Cobra.
Cobra, good one.
Mm-hmm. You're a disease.
And I'm the cure.
All right. Shamrock Balls wrote, great show, guys. Very late to this one. It's been a busy few days. I agree. Arrow was very
uninspiring
and has been for a long while now. I just respond with my wallet. My money will go somewhere else. LOL. Here's a question for you guys. I have space on the wall in my small media room for 4 posters. If you had to pick 4 posters to display in your media room, what 4 would you pick?
Terminator, Jaws.
So Terminator would go in mine too, so that's one for me.
Terminator, Jaws, a Batman movie.
Batman 89 would be my number 2 behind Terminator.
Which I have in the back.
Yes, because that's one of the most iconic. I mean, Shamrock have both talked about our love for Batman 89 because it is the best Batman movie.
And then probably Halloween.
So, okay. So Batman, Jaws, Halloween, and Terminator for you. All right. So I would go Batman, Terminator, Batman 89. Pulp Fiction. I think it's one of the most iconic.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that actually in my hallway in my house. Like so my wife and I both walk by that, and anyone who comes to my house can know.
I have the VHS up there.
Yeah. Well, it's an iconic. I can't wait to watch the 4K this week. But the poster itself is iconic. And then my fourth poster, that's a tough one because there are so many classic ones. Damn, that's really hard. I don't know. I don't know what I would do because I feel
Jurassic Park.
No.
Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park would be a runner-up for me.
Yeah, I'd be like, you're 5. You know what? That E.T. That's an iconic poster.
It is. It is.
And that's one of my favorites. That is my favorite Spielberg film, so that would definitely go up there.
Yep.
Obviously I know your favorite Spielberg. I was gonna ask, but that would be stupid because it's
My
obviously
favorite Spielberg?
It's obviously Jaws.
Right.
Yeah. No. Jaws doesn't crack my top 10.
That's insane. Yeah, that is crazy.
No, because my top 3 are definitely E.T., Jurassic Park. Oh, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, easily.
Over Jaws.
Over Jaws, yeah, Jaws. And then after that, you get movies like Minority Report is better than that. War of the Worlds, The Fabelmans I just saw is better than Jaws.
Oh, God.
Yeah, people are going to hate me for saying that. And I'm sorry, I just don't really like Jaws. Great, well-made movie. It's phenomenal, and I'm blown away by the filmmaking.
What do you dislike about Jaws?
I just don't enjoy it. I don't get wrapped up in it at all.
That's crazy. I can watch that, all the time.
Every time I have to watch it, like when we had to watch it for the review for the channel, I dreaded it because I didn't want to. And I'll watch it again.
Do you have the 4K?
Yeah, I have the 4K. Nice 4K. Great 4K.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful 4K. It's not my movie, and I don't know what. Like I told you, I have no connection to the sea or sharks, so I'm not scared of them. I don't really worry about sharks unless we get like that king shark starts walking around. I'm not really worried about sharks.
Okay.
Personal opinion. I'm sorry. All right.
Moving on
to our fourth question, and this one is actually going to take a little time because I have a lot to say about this. And this is from Impressive Tony, who I told you guys has a YouTube channel himself, who also does great work, and he's helped this channel out a lot, so go over there and subscribe if you can. And he wrote, now that we're done with Marvel's Phase 4, how would you rank the movies in that phase, and what did you think of it altogether? I definitely think it's the weakest phase so far. If you agree, why do you think that? And do you think Marvel can return to its former glory?
All right, so I'm going to jump in. Phase 4 is what started with...
I'm going to give you the list right now. So Phase 4 as far as films goes, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. But there was also television shows. Now, in the television series...
So, being honest, I actually missed, I think, 3 of these. I didn't see Shang-Chi, I didn't see the Eternals, and I didn't see Wakanda yet. And I was always a day one Marvel guy. I've seen them all 100 times. I absolutely love the Marvel movies. But I feel like after Endgame, it kind of just...
It sucked the wind out of it, right?
It kind of fizzled out for me. You took a lot of the heavy hitters out of the equation, and you're trying to now starlight some of these other characters, which is fine, but I think, they should have been introduced maybe a little bit earlier, just to develop them a little bit more and make you care about them. Not that I dislike Falcon and all of them, but I just...
Did you watch any of the shows? I did. Did you watch WandaVision?
I liked WandaVision.
So I think that was the best show in Phase 4 as far as
That was the first show, right?
First one, I still think that was the best.
I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I hated Falcon and the Winter
Soldier. I liked that show.
I hated that show.
Loki I thought was pretty good.
Loki I would put second best. I did watch What If. Did you watch What If?
What If doesn't count.
Yeah, it does. It's not, and that's not canon because obviously it's
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye
was my favorite, I think.
Didn't watch Hawkeye.
I liked Hawkeye.
And I heard that was Christmas related. And it's got people in it I like. I don't know. I just didn't watch that.
I liked Hawkeye, especially when Kingpin, that was cool.
And then this is where I bowed out of the Marvel TV shows.
I didn't watch Moon Knight.
I got halfway through Moon Knight, and I was like, I can't do it anymore. And I love Oscar Isaac. Love Oscar Isaac. I know you love Oscar Isaac. And then you had Miss Marvel, which I watched the first episode, and I liked it. I don't know. For some reason, I didn't want to go back the second week. And then then She-Hulk Attorney at Law, I didn't watch. I had no interest in watching it. But again, like, that's just the TV shows. I have no interest anymore. I think that they put out way too much in too short of a span.
I agree with that. They're definitely overfeeding us for sure. But I do plan to go back. Because, you know, I was about to start a Marvel watch through and I was wrestling between, do I get the 4Ks or, because I have all the Blu-rays, do I upgrade them to 4K or do I watch them on Disney Plus? And I ultimately decided and finally decided that with the new updated Apple TV and my setup, I'm going to watch them on Disney Plus for the IMAX scenes. It's just a fun, I don't even want to, because I get heated about this.
Yeah, because
the Disney won't give us the proper IMAX scenes on the disc, so that's annoying. But I do want to start from the beginning. I'm going to write out a list, and I'll stop the movies when I have to watch the shows in between. You know, so I'm going to do a proper full watch through from Iron Man in the beginning and do a complete 20-something movie and 10-show watch through, and that's going to be like a 3-month project that I do.
That might be a project we do for the channel. Maybe we'll do it. We'll start at Iron Man. We'll work all the way. We'll do that alongside our James Bond thing that we're going to do.
Yeah, because our running series, they do great.
Yeah, they do. Well, you know what? We're a lot bigger than the last time we did a running series.
Star Wars.
Star Wars bombed hard for us.
We had like maybe 60 views max.
Maybe, but you got to remember that was also like we didn't even have 500 subscribers, so it was a different time for the channel.
But come on, you type in Star Wars on YouTube. But
yeah, but nobody
whatever.
was searching for us.
Whatever.
You got to remember though, like your face isn't drawing anyone in. But okay, but then if I'm gonna rank the films, because the films were very hit or miss. So I thought the worst film was clearly Eternals. So that would be dead last for me as far as rankings go. Eternals, I just thought it was bad.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't speak on that.
Yeah, no, and I love Chloe Zhao. She directed Nomadland, which is a Best Picture winner that I actually really liked. I thought it deserved the Best Picture winner of the year it won. And I was excited for her to do it, to bring that slow pace that she usually does with those beautiful vistas. I was really excited, and the film looked beautiful, but it was just... it was boring. I mean, I got through it, but it didn't start picking up pace until the third act. What a waste of great cast. Like, Angelina Jolie was in this, and, you know, you could have cut her completely. It was just...
See, I haven't seen that yet, but even up to this point, I don't think there's a bad Marvel movie.
Well, you haven't seen it.
But I haven't seen that. I haven't seen...
But then again, you like Iron Man 2 and Thor the Dark World, which makes no sense because those movies are bad.
Those are early, and those are good movies.
They are not good. Iron Man 2, I want to gouge my eyes out watching.
Come on.
And I love Sam Rockwell.
Would you rather watch that or Eternals?
Eternals. I think Iron Man 2 is still dead last.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, you're crazy for liking it. And then after that, that's the only bad one. Like, looking at this, after that...
Thor was a bit of a disappointment, in my opinion.
So after Eternals being the worst, my next to last would be Black Widow, but I like Black Widow.
Black Widow was pretty good, yep.
Like David Harbour, who we were talking about. I thought that was good. I think that would have been better 5 years ago when Black Widow was still alive.
I just started losing interest after the Spider-Man that came out after Endgame.
No Way Home?
No Way Home. That was the one with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yep, and that's in this phase 2. Oh no, that's Far From Home with Jake Gyllenhaal. Yes. That's the end of phase 3.
Yes.
That's the very last of phase 3.
Yes.
So then after that, I guess, yeah, I would probably put Thor Love and Thunder kind of towards the bottom, which is crazy because that's the follow-up to my personal favorite MCU movie, which is Thor Ragnarok. I love Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I was very excited with the coming attractions and all that stuff for that movie, and turns out it wasn't great.
They just leaned way too much into the comedy, I think. And then after that, as far as, like, I would probably have to go Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I think that was really good. I enjoyed it.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Sam Raimi was great as far as directing, and I had fun with that movie. It definitely checked a lot of boxes in my personal movie list, just getting that kind of horror twist on an MCU movie. I really loved. And then after that, I would definitely put Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Thought that movie was really good. You said you didn't see that yet, right?
Nope.
Nope, that movie is really good. Definitely check that one out. I definitely enjoyed that. It's a very similar origin story for another MCU character, but I'm a sucker for a good origin story.
Right.
And then at number 2, this might be a little upsetting to some people, is Spider-Man No Way Home, which I thought was really good, obviously, getting all 3 Spider-Mans, but I'm not the biggest Spider-Man guy.
Yeah, No Way Home was definitely the best in that phase for sure.
Yeah, I loved it, but like you said, you said in your review of it that it's definitely set up more for the movie theater than it is for
Right,
home.
yes, now it's coming back to me. Yes,
Yes,
that is, but that's a lot of the Marvel movies, but that one specifically, that's like an event type movie. Creature. That is definitely an event type movie where you have to see it with a big audience of people that care about what's going on the screen, and then I remember the first time, what was it, we saw Toby first or Garfield? I don't remember.
I think we got Garfield first.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and they paused for the reaction.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, yeah, it was amazing.
But then when you were at home doing it, it was
you watch
weird.
it at home, it's like, oh.
It's just me.
No one's going crazy. So that's stuff like that is just, that's what makes the movie theater magical, you know, those big event type movies. And that's why when you go see weird shit, I'm like, why? Just watch it at home.
I love movies, and going to the movies, for some reason, for me, I feel the most relaxed and the happiest I could be at a movie theater. I don't know why, it just always felt like that for me.
I mean, I like it and everything, but like I only go for like big event movies. Like
yeah, but think about it. I mean, as much as we collect physical media and I love watching movies at home, it's just like, you know, we have dogs, and like, you know, they get up, they want to go outside, you know, they start fighting with each other. At the movies, you know, everyone's there to do the same thing. It's peaceful. So for like an hour and a half to 3,
all the time.
Not all the time. There is some rowdy people. There's some people who just really don't give a shit about anyone else.
It was some chick.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Bill. And anyway, so
Bill.
oh, I'm sorry. No, it's Terry. Sorry about that, Terry. Anyway,
In the entire world, I don't know how. It's a movie theater. You learn those rules pretty early. But anyway, enough about that. So then my number 1 would be definitely Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Really?
And yes,
I haven't seen it yet.
I know you haven't. And this really did surprise me. And they had a really hard task with T'Challa passing away, Chadwick Boseman, very young from cancer. And, you know, a lot of people were worried about Letitia Wright taking over as the Black Panther. Spoiler alert, you know, she is the Black Panther if you haven't seen it yet.
Thank you.
Well, they kind of spoil it themselves in their
I
trailers.
had no idea.
You didn't even know who that was.
Nope.
So, I'm not really even spoiling it for you. But anyway, you know, they did an incredible job. Namor, the villain, is amazing in it, and I actually think he's one of the best villains the MCU has ever had. The film, just like in the first Black Panther, the biggest thing about it is I felt like the special effects, the CGI, were a little off, but I don't like to nitpick at that right now because I hear all these issues about the people who do the CGI and the conditions they have to work in. So I feel bad now knocking the CGI, but that was my biggest complaint. It's very noticeable when they do that. But other than that, I really do think the movie, they couldn't have done a better job under the circumstances. I think it should be commended for it because I had a great time. I can't wait to see it again. And it's very rare nowadays with my cold heart to get, you know, feel emotional in the theater, and I did. So, well, job well done. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is definitely the best of the MCU. But that's going to do it for our questions portion of this week's show. And now we're going to actually take you guys around because one thing you might not know about both Matt and I is we have other hobbies besides video games and movies.
What is yours?
I'm also a fan of NASCAR. That's why I have this NASCAR hat. So, you know, everything that I do, you guys probably noticed, my skin is extremely white. So me and the outdoors don't work well together. I've almost died from the sun. Like, I've been in the burn victims ward at the hospital with people who were in fires. What did I do? I went to the beach that day. So, like, you know. So it's, you know, so for me, all my hobbies pretty much revolve around the TV because, like, I'm a fan of NASCAR, football, and, like, I used to be a big fan of wrestling.
Oh, yeah, wrestling was great.
You liked wrestling too. But Matt's also kind of an outdoors, a lot of outdoor hobbies such as like riding quads, dirt bikes. Now he has a side-by-side, which we're going to show you. And he also really loves RC cars.
I do.
Which was a hobby that kind of fell on the back burner for a while, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? Honestly, the RC cars were almost always my first hobby. Aside from like video games, which I still don't really consider video games a hobby.
I feel like that's like the number 1 hobby.
I don't know if it's a hobby though. Like, I don't know. I guess it is. But like the RC cars, my dad had like the hobby grade ones where you go to the hobby shop, you take them home, you build them, and then you drive them, you break them, you fix them, you drive them, you break them, you fix them. You know, it's just a vicious circle. And that's how all the RC cars are. You know, even the new stuff, everything breaks, especially what me and my buddies do to them. We jump these things 100 feet in the air, they come down, they tumble. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. But honestly, I love coming home, setting up my RC cars on this bar top, putting on a movie and just working on them while I'm watching a movie, or I'll just play a video game. You know, those are the things I like to do. We go on riding trips and stuff like that. So, you know, I do a lot of stuff where John just tends to be a homebody. But there's nothing wrong with that, because there's times where my friends will call me and say, hey, we're doing this. You want to go here? Let's go here. No, I'm good. I'm probably just going to play a game or watch a movie or hang out, because I enjoy sitting home just as much as I do going out.
Yeah, no, I'd rather always be home. I try and like cut out as many plans as I can, because me and that couch have a date with a movie that I would rather do that than anything. And sometimes it's a problem, because like sometimes friends and family want to see me, and it's like, you know, I haven't watched Batman in a while, and that seems more important tonight.
Yeah, I tend to generally watch my movies when the sun goes down. I feel like a movie is better when it's dark out, you know. I'm not good at watching a movie at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, unless it's like a rainy day or a snow day or something that I just have nothing going on, or something maybe in the middle of the week or something. So generally, unless I'm doing a review, if I'm just watching a movie just for fun, you know, 5, 6 o'clock when I sit down and have my dinner on this bar top, I'll put on a movie, and then I'll clean up my dinner and I'll finish the movie on the couch, you know, play on my phone a little bit, and then hop off and go play video games, or maybe watch another movie if I have enough time and I don't feel like gaming. Work on an RC car, you know, stuff like that. Every once in a while I'll be out in the garage, you know, I have a heated garage and I do stuff out there, and maybe we'll show you guys the garage in a little bit.
Yeah, well, let's take them to the RC cars so they can see exactly what we're talking about.
All right, so we're not going to do a full man cave tour yet, because that side of the room is not quite done, and I'm not ready to show the world. But if you come over here, just a quick tease, you know, this is, everything's a bit of a mess right now, but you know, this is the game wall. So we're usually sitting over there with the movie stuff, or the bar top's over there. But if you come into this door right here, this is the utility room. But, you know, there's more than utilities in here. So you got some old retro posters on there. Pop this open, you know, you got the boiler, right? But big boy toys. So yeah, like we showed you, you walk right off the game room or the man cave into a smaller man cave, and this is where my big boy toys are.
Yeah,
as you would say. But
yeah.
I have even the bigger toys out in the garage, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So you've been collecting RC cars since we were kids, pretty much.
Yeah. So fun fact, actually, this one right here, which is going to be a project soon. This was my dad's. You know, so there's a brand called Tamiya when you're into the RC cars, and they're like a entry, not so much an entry grade, but they were my entry grade, and there's so many different levels. So my dad handed me down. This was I believe this was a Midnight Pumpkin, I think was the name of this truck. And then he gave me his Blackfoot, which I think I ended up breaking, but they actually reissued that a couple years ago, and I bought him that for Christmas, and he had a great time building it. And then I had the King Blackfoot, which was part 2 to that, a lunchbox, and then this is the same chassis as a Blackfoot, the Monster Beetle, but it just has a Beetle body versus a pickup truck body. And these are, you know, they just hold a special place in my heart. And these two, the Hornet and the Grasshopper, my dad had those, and these are the reissued model. That's why they're in such good condition, because I bought them new maybe 2-3 years ago. I built them, drove them 1 or 2 times, and I just put them on the shelf because they're just fun. I actually have more fun building these things than actually driving them, although I have a blast driving them when we get a bunch of our buddies, a couple beers in us, and we launching these things off ramps. But that's what like the bigger ones are for, is to do all the jumping and the bashing. These are just more fun to build, and then you get into like the crawlers. Like this one I built and I modeled it after the Jeep Cherokee I had.
Yes,
so
I remember this one.
looks a lot like the Cherokee I had in real life, because I was into the rock crawling and stuff with my actual Jeep. RC cars was like one of the first things I ever got into next to the video games, and I can't remember how young I even was when my dad gave me the first one. And then when I was a kid, like the Nitro, the gas-powered ones were really big. And this was my first Nitro RC car. This is the RC10 GT. And they had the little Nitro, they were, let's see, I probably even have a motor right here, yeah. So you'd run the nitro fuel through them. This is the whole motor, you know, it fits in your hand. And these things did 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. Some of them were pull start, like this is all gummed up because it's been sitting forever. But some of them were electric start, pull cords, and it was just fun, the model engines, and they still do some nitro stuff, but not too much anymore. But, you know, it's just fun to have. Actually, I think this is the only running nitro truck I have right now, my T-Max, which I got for Christmas a long, long time ago.
I remember that Christmas. I remember that was your big gift. I remember when you got that.
Yeah, that was before I had a license. You know, half of this stuff I had before I had a license, and then
What the hell is that, though? That's
So this is the new one that,
This is what brought you back, right? This is
Well, actually, another channel I watch, Side by Side Blog, they do all side by side stuff, which I'll show you in the garage of my side by side. But they have these trucks in there, and they were just messing around with them in their shop. I was like, oh fuck, I miss my RC cars. So I called my buddy Lou. I was like, let's fix our trucks and play with them this weekend. So we both had these. These are the tracks of Slash, and we were bashing them around in the back, but you don't get a ton of ground clearance with these. These got small tires, and my girlfriend, this was hers, so she built this one and she was driving. It's only rear-wheel drive. It's very slow, and we're doing 60 miles an hour off the jumps, and she's like, oh, I want a fast truck. So we went to the hobby shop on Black Friday, and they actually had some great sales. And so I picked up this one for, well, actually, I guess she's my fiance now.
Yeah.
But so I picked up the new Traxxas Max for her, and we actually have not driven them yet because we've been waiting. We just ordered batteries, and we're probably going to take them out this weekend. But this is the one I just picked up for her, and this one on the box it says it does 70 miles an hour, so that's fast.
That is fast.
Especially for
That's
like
faster than me.
for a for a rookie RC person. That's pretty quick, but it's pretty beefy. You know, it's got big beefy shocks, the thick plastic arms and stuff like that. So stuff's for sure gonna break, but again, they're fun to work on. These are this is pretty straightforward, pretty easy to work on. So I'm excited for her to actually use this thing and check it out and see what breaks, see what we gotta upgrade. But while we were there, you know, I said, if there was one truck I ever bought, because I just dusted these off. I actually just redid this whole room and hung these all on the wall this week. They were just on these shelves in here and piled on top of each other. That's the one thing I didn't do when I finished my man cave. But I kept saying, I want an X-Max really, really bad. And you know what? The hobby store had one in stock in the color I wanted, and it was 10% off. So
It's like a match made in heaven.
I had to pick it up. I was like, you know what?
So 10% off of $1,000 means that Matt got this for $900.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah.
They are expensive, and I'm gonna launch this thing off a ramp and watch it break into a million pieces.
Yeah, that's the only way to go.
But the parts are cheap.
So, oh yeah.
The parts are pretty cheap. You know, there's the electronic. This thing's heavy.
Yeah,
Like,
let me see that. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
like
Oh my God.
You just hold it.
All right, I'll hold it.
But again, it's a big truck. You know, I can't wait to see this thing fly through the air. I've only had it for a few days.
How fast does this get up to?
This on the box they advertise 50 miles an hour, but 50 miles an hour for this big thing,
Hitting a ramp, then coming down with this weight. Yeah, that's gonna. Well, it's got good shocks. It looks like.
But apparently, I've been doing a ton of research, and these are very durable trucks. I plan on breaking it. I plan on upgrading the parts I break. But that's the fun part of the hobby, is driving them, breaking them, fixing them, driving them, breaking them, fixing them. That's how it goes. But it's a great time. You know, we have a lot of fun with people we go out with and play with these things. So I'm pretty excited to check this one out, and maybe we'll do a review. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, if you guys are into it, let us know in the comment section below.
So it was funny because once I'm into something, I'm full force. So I'm at work. I'm on Facebook Marketplace. And before I even bought the X-Max, I really wanted one of these. And this is called the Armor Infraction. So now, what this guy does... Oh, hold that. That was a free gift for spending a certain amount of money from a hobby store online.
What's this do, like 3-4 miles an hour?
That's actually a ton of fun to drive in the house. The dogs go crazy when I drive it. So, this truck was like $650, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I found it on Facebook Marketplace with batteries, because RC cars never come with batteries, and the batteries are like $50-$60 a piece. So I found someone selling this truck with batteries that they just bought, because it looks pretty new, right?
Yeah, no, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, so they bought it, I think a month ago, they said, and they used it like 1 or 2 times, and they had it listed for $450. I got them down to $390, with the batteries.
Well, I won't pay full price. I talked you down.
Good barter.
There you go.
Good barter.
It's like an $800 value for the truck and the batteries. I paid $390 for it, and my mom was looking for something for Christmas to get me, so she just Venmo'd me the money and said, here, Merry Christmas, there's your RC truck.
So you're just full-fledged back into this fucking
Yeah,
hobby.
yeah. But this one's fun. So this is all-wheel drive. It does 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it does drifting like crazy. Like, so I've never, if you look, these are all off-road vehicles. This is my first on-road, and the second I put this thing on the ground and started driving it, I had the biggest smile because it takes off like a freaking rocket ship, and it just slides and drifts, and it's so much fun to drive. I can't wait to take it to a big parking lot and really explore the space.
I mean, really? Yeah. Explore the space. Okay.
And there's actually a handbrake on it, so you press a button on the controller, it locks up the rear tires, and you can slide around. And I really can't wait to do that.
No, that's awesome. All right, well, that's going to do it for us here in the garage. Well, in the RC Center, I guess I'm going to name it. And now we're going to head out to the garage so we can show you what Matt keeps in there, which is more shit that he pays for with credit cards.
Hey, that one's paid off. So last but not least, we're outside now. You know, it's pretty cold. It's December here on Long Island. It's like 30-something degrees. But we're gonna take you over to the garage and show you the last toy box, the last man cave. So yeah, my fiance didn't really make out too well on this house. Yeah, you know, I have the whole basement, I have the 2-car garage, you know, I got all the toys in here, but I need the garage for this bad unit right here. This is my favorite toy. So let me turn on the lights and we'll show you guys. So this is a Can-Am Maverick X3. So this is it's a side-by-side, it's a UTV. You know, this is the next big thing in like the off-roading world. Like, I had dirt bikes growing up, I had quad. I actually still have a quad over there if John wants to pan over to it. I use that, that's just the Yamaha Grizzly. I use that to plow my driveway. I got a plow on it. That's how we clean the snow out of the driveway. But this is the big toy. You know, this requires the truck and the trailer to get it around. This is a fun toy. From the factory, 172 horsepower. I did a tune and some other modifications. I'm clearing 200 horsepower, and not to the tires, at the crank, but we're putting down probably close to 170 to the wheels, which is not bad for like maybe 1,400, 1,500 pounds it weighs. So this thing gets up in boogies, it's turbocharged, and it's just a blast to ride. Like, if you guys are familiar with trophy trucks or like what they do in the Baja races, this is one of those toys where you just bring it out in the sand dunes or in the woods and you just fly, and it just soaks up, the suspension soaks up all the bumps and the jumps, and it's just a blast to ride. You strap your girlfriend in the passenger seat and you just have a great time. And you know, this thing is like a Cadillac. Compared to riding a dirt bike, you have the music bumping, you can bring your cooler for your beers, you bring all your tools, you stay pretty dry in the mud and the rain and stuff. You got a windshield, full roof. They make windows, they make full cab enclosures, but I opted out on that just because I like some of the wind, and it gets kind of hot in there, even though I have the heated seats for the wintertime and the defrost on the windshield, which is not equipped from the factory. That's something I had to do myself. I did a ton of modifications. I upgraded the suspension, rims, tires. I put the windshield on myself, the roof, the tire carrier, the harnesses, the modifications in the motor. I did all that stuff, but you know, this is one of my other big hobbies. This is probably the most expensive hobby for sure. You know, I have the little miniature RC cars, all the movies and the games, but you know, it's really hard to divide my time between all my hobbies. And this kind of sits there a lot. You know, you got to put it in a trailer, you got to go out of state because there's not too many places in New York that you can really ride this thing. So that's just something we like to do. Between me and my friends, we all have a couple of these. Well, we have a couple pooled together between the friends. Like, everyone's got their own. But you know, they're a blast. They're a lot of fun. It's maybe one day next time I go on a trip, maybe I'll try to get some footage. Maybe I'll get a GoPro or something. We'll clip it into another episode like this so you guys see what it's like. One last thing I want to show you. It's embarrassing. My old TV is up in here, so when I'm out here working, at least I have some sort of screen that I could watch a movie or YouTube or something on. I keep in the background. And this couch, it might not look it, but it's actually pretty comfortable. And this couch actually came with the house when I bought it. The guy left he left actually the entire house furnished, and this is pretty much the only thing that survived next to the old CRT TV you guys see down in the basement. But when we do outdoor movie night, me and John pick up this 1,000-pound couch because this thing is fucking heavy, and we bring it into the backyard when we set up movie night. And this is where me and John sit. And this couch, I swear to God, it actually is very fucking comfortable. And yeah, this is they don't make them like this anymore, I feel like. So, you know, a man he's proud of his tools, and I got my John Deere, you know. She thinks my tractor's sexy. But I have a blast mowing the lawn on the zero turn. But, you know, that's going to about do it for us here this week.
Yeah. Now, despite everything you might have seen in the last 10 to 20 minutes, you're probably thinking, wow, Matt's really well off. You know,
No.
MasterCard and Visa are really well off.
My American Express has a dangerous credit limit on it.
Yeah, and it shows.
So it does show, yes. I have a lot to show for my debt.
Yeah, but, you know, it's a lot to be proud of also, and I'm really jealous. Like, obviously.
You only live once, you know, you got to have fun. And again, my love for movies and video games is always there, but I spread my love between this stuff too, because I love doing this stuff out on the weekends. I love going out with my buddies, drinking beers. When we go upstate to my buddy's house, he has a huge open field. We get like 6 or 7 of these up there. We're drinking beers all day. We're racing around the thing, doing time trials, and it's just such a great time. And the places you can go with these, and again, it's just like any other, like the physical media community, the video game community. The community with this, it's just awesome. You know, you get out there and everyone's having a great time. You break down on the trail and everyone will stop and say, oh, you need something, or you need any help, you guys good? You know, it's generally always like that. And it's just so fun to get out there and cruise around. And again, with the quads and the dirt bikes, I grew up doing that the past 10, 15 years. And the older I get, this is like riding a Cadillac to the woods, and this is just really the way to go. I absolutely love this machine, and it's a great time.
Yeah, no, it really is. I've been inside of it before. I will not drive it. I'm sure you guys have all noticed. I don't have the greatest eyes. That thing will be wrapped around a tree within 10 to 20 seconds of me getting behind the wheel. Lucky to have a license.
Well, there's 5-point or 4-point safety harnesses, a roll cage, so you know, what's the worst that can happen?
Well, if I get behind the wheel of that thing, I think we know what the worst that can happen is. But yeah, that's going to do it.
Bruises.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. If not, the hospital stay is in my future. Wouldn't be my first. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for us here on another episode of Let's Talk Physical Media. Leave your questions and comments for next week's episode of Let's Talk Physical Media in the comments section below. And while you're down there, make sure you like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends.
Oh. All right.
That actually went really well.
We'll see. I think the rape scene went really well.